Fire, 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 fire,
Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Peace and if today is the first time here, you're most definitely welcome. Well, today I want to talk about 5 things an African woman would do that will surprise other women. And when I mean other women, I mean an European woman, an American woman, I think some Asian woman, okay? And you're probably wondering, do you always wear the same clothes? No, I actually filmed 2 videos the same day, so no. Anyway, the first thing that an African woman would do that will surprise an American woman is the fact of cleaning and cooking. Um, in Africa, when a girl is very, very young, she's being taught to cook and clean. Because cooking and cleaning in Africa is not seen as what a woman feels like doing or what a woman wants to do, but it's something that a woman is obligated to do. It's more like an obligation. You have to do it. Like your husband has every right to divorce you and send you packing out of the house if you don't do it. But whereas in the Western world, it's kind of like a no. Like a woman is going to clean because she feels like she wants to clean, not because she's obligated by any sort of tradition to do it. And that is number one. Number two, one thing that an African woman would do that will surprise, an American woman or an European woman is the fact that in Africa, we have a lot of child marriage. I'm not saying it is right, it is wrong, I'm against it. But in the northern part of Nigeria, let me speak for myself, okay, for my own country and not others. In the northern part of Nigeria, we have the houses who are Muslims who are actually entitled to get married to young ladies, not young ladies, young girls as young as the age of 12 and 13. And basically, when a girl starts to see a menstruation, she's been given to a much older man. And this is something that is despicable. It's something that I do not agree, because I feel like every girl child should be educated and not end up in the hands of a pedophile or in the name of marriage. But this is something that in the Western world is absolutely unheard of. Unheard of. Basically, you try something like that in the Western world and your ass is going to be in jail. That's just as simple as it is. But in Nigeria, not in Nigeria, I think in the northern part is actually acceptable. And the third thing that it is surprising that we African ladies do that a Western woman might not do. Let me say a Western woman. That a Western woman might not do or will not do or will find surprising is basically the fact that in Africa, when you want to get married, like there's a lot of procedures, okay? Before you have the actual marriage, you have what they call the introduction. Okay, and I think before the introduction there is another one whereby the boy comes and meets your family, brings drinks, and then you have the introduction, the real formal introduction, where he comes with few of his family members. He brings drinks. Your dad call you out and tell you, do you know this boy? You say yes. He says he want to get married to you. Do you want to get married to him? And then you say yes. And then after the introduction, we now have the traditional marriage. The traditional marriage is very important in Nigeria. I think that is more important than the church wedding. We all dress, traditionally. We put on our attires. The guy comes. I'm Igbo, so basically the only way I can say I'm married to a guy, that is after he has paid my bride price, my dowry, is the fact that on the day of our traditional marriage, I have this palm wine in my hands. I have to go round the whole invitee and locate where my husband is or my husband to be is, kneel down before him, give him this palm wine to drink. He drinks it, he puts in whatever token he has to give, and then we go to my father, we kneel down and he bless our marriage. That's basically what it's all about. And then friends come and drink. And then after the traditional marriage, we have the white marriage, and in most cases we have also the court wedding. And basically the white marriage that we do in church in Nigeria is not a court wedding. Like, you have couples that do white marriage and they don't do court wedding. But here in the Western world, I think when you go to the church to do your wedding and you don't want to do it, they want to do a court wedding. Basically, on that day you sign everything you need to sign, and it's basically more like you're being wedded in the side of God and also in the side of the law. But in Nigeria, everything is different. So you might see a girl that wants to get married and end up doing like 4 or 5 parties. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. And the fourth thing that we African ladies do that might surprise the Western women, also in the aspect of marriage, is also the fact that we are, how can I put it? I don't want to say what we're being paid for. A bride price is actually paid on our behalf. Okay, so basically, if there is a guy that wants to get married to me, he has to go to my parents and they have to write down a list of items that he has to bring before the traditional rites can be performed, the traditional marriage can be performed. And apart from that, he also has to pay a specific amount of money for me, just to have me. And it is good. There are actually some parts of Pilates in Africa, not in Africa actually, in Nigeria, whereby the bride price is really, really expensive. And then you also have some places whereby it's normal. And the items that the husband-to-be has to pay is a lot of things. It varies. You can be told to bring a bike and also be told to bring a tissue paper. Like, it varies because you have to give to the mother-in-law, your father-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, the aunts, the uncles, the villagers. Everybody has to get something from it. So that's the way it is. And I think the final thing that, in my opinion, it's different, that will surprise you, that we African women do, is the fact that we do what they call naming ceremony. Now, basically, I actually noticed that of recent, baby showers are being done in Nigeria, which is something that, as of 10 years ago, was kind of like a taboo. Like, as of 10 years ago, like, you don't even think of such, because we're actually superstitious. We Africans are superstitious. We have this feeling like, oh my God, like, if I do something like that, then most definitely I am endangering my child. Someone can harm my child. I don't really believe in all those stuff, but thank God we've been able to overcome that. But talking about a naming ceremony, basically when a child is born, the parents, they just say they don't name the child for the first 7 days of the child's life, or they might name the child, but they don't tell it to people for the first 7 days of that child's life. And then early in the morning, this is mostly for the Muslim people, I'm not a Christian. Then early in the morning, on the 7th day, I guess, they call the imam. The imam comes, a ram is being killed, and that is when the parents tell the imam, okay, this is the name that we chose for the child. And that is the moment in which everybody gets to know about the name, and then there's a huge celebration that goes after it. For the Christian, I think what we just do is child dedication. We just do child dedication in church. We take the child to the church, and the child gets prayed for, which is different from baptism that you guys do in the Western world. We do child dedication. Child dedication is different from baptism. Baptism in Nigeria can be done even at the age of 30 or at the age of 15 for a child. So it depends on what the parents chooses. I think that is about that. I'm trying to add one more, but I can't really get, okay, fine, yes, one more. Like in Nigeria, most especially in Africa, I know people be like, why is African names so difficult to pronounce? It's because we have been given names that has meanings, names according to sometimes the situation in which our parents were in before our birth. And the reason why you see lots of Africans with 3, 4, 5 names is because everybody just has to name that child. Like, my name is Peace Ifeyuma Nkiruka Wakama. So my dad gave me Peace because in that I think he said the reason why he gave me Peace was that at that point in time in his life, he wanted peace. I don't know, I can't really remember. He told me when I was quite young, I can't remember. But my dad gave me peace. Mom gave me Ifeyunwa. Ifeyunwa means Ifeyunwa. Like there is nothing that resembles a child. There is nothing like a child. Okay? That was what my mom gave me because I was the first child. So I think maybe she felt like I was important than every other thing that she could achieve at that particular time in her life. My grandma gave me Nkiruka. Nkiruka simply means that what is in front is going to be better. So I think maybe when I was born, let's just say my grandma was trying to wish my mom well, my parents well, that whatever situation in which they find themselves at that particular time, they were going to overcome it and get better in life. They were going to succeed. I was going to succeed. Because it said kill my life. So I think she's referring to me. And I think that's the most important things that an African woman will do that, you know, a Western woman might not do, because here I see names here in abroad is kind of like cliche. You can go to a class of 10 people and see 3 Whitney and 2 Samanthas and 3 Jennifers. Like there's not that significant, like, oh god, I'm about to speak Italian. You know, not a significato, okay? Like names don't really have significance. You see, people go on the internet and look for cute names to give their children, and you see names like North, Blue, West, Chicago. Like, fine, they're good names for their kids, but in Africa, I don't think you really want to tell anyone that your child's name is North or West. Like, people are gonna look at you like, are you crazy? So basically, tell me, if you're African, tell me anything that I am actually forgetting, that I have not actually added in this video. Let's talk about it in the comment section. If you're not African and you feel that there are things that I said that you also do in your own part of the country, let me know. And if you have special traditions there. Alright, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Do subscribe to my channel so you can support me in what I'm doing, and stay out of trouble and mind your business, most importantly. Bye.